Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of 5-Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. I'm Elspeth filling in for Jesse Cox, and here are your top stories. Today in the news, it's out of the frying pan and into another frying pan for Activision Blizzard. The Justice Department has filed a civil lawsuit against the company, alleging that they restricted competition for players within the Overwatch and Call of Duty professional esports leagues and hindered the growth of player salaries. According to Video Games Chronicle, the complaint, which was filed in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, accuses Activision and the independently owned teams in its esports leagues of implementing a competitive balance tax designed to penalize teams if player compensation exceeded a threshold set by the game maker. Similar to other professional sports leagues such as the NBA and MLB, the competitive balance tax was designed to prevent excess spending from any particular team. But unlike the NBA or MLB, these esports leagues do not have a union advocating for them or that the salary cap can be raised. I know if Jesse were here, he'd say something like, nothing like stopping people from fighting for what they're worth. However, in an almost immediate turn of events, that same day, the Justice Department reportedly agreed to a settlement with Activision Blizzard. The dual Diablo Duty publisher shared the following statement. When we launched the Overwatch and Call of Duty leagues, we wanted to create viable career opportunities for the players requiring minimum salaries and mandatory benefits as part of player contracts. We have always believed, and still believe, that the competitive balance tax was lawful, and it did not have an adverse impact on player salaries. The tax was never levied, and the leagues voluntarily dropped it from our rules in 2021. At the end of the day, it's not the Justice Department or even the decision makers at Activision Blizzard that matter here. It's the players, real people whose lives are affected by these choices. I know one of the advocating points surrounding the Microsoft-Activision Blizzard merger is, well, maybe Microsoft will ensure that Activision Blizzard treats people right. But if that merger goes through, it's looking more and more like Microsoft could have their work cut out for them. And speaking of Blizzard, guess who just released a new Overwatch character the same day the Justice Department issued a lawsuit against them? Apparently, the best way to avoid negative press is to introduce a new hot guy into your game. Who knew? Meet Lifeweaver, a support class character that will debut in Season 4 of Overwatch 2. According to Kotaku, the aim was to create another support hero that didn't rely on aim skill, Alec Dawson told PC Games N. Lifeweaver utilizes a technology called BioLight that heals teammates and builds structures. For example, he can generate platforms that not only lift his teammates off of the ground, but can help lift Blizzard out of some bad press. And can we talk about his design for a second? Not only is he mega bonkers hot, but he incorporates lotus flowers that restore his teammates' HP and yoinks them out of harm's way. I'd like to see a skin in the future that's all poisonous plants. Then we can call him Hiveweaver. In any case, his new skills are going to be a much-needed addition to a support roster that's been begging for a little more self-defense. And as someone who plays the heck out of tank and really appreciates a good support, it's nice to see that kind of character added into the mix. Just don't use your support character to heal your company's image. I don't think that's one of his programmed abilities. And finally, if you've ever wanted to play Marvel's Avengers, now is the best and last time to do so. This past week, Crystal Dynamics released Patch 2.8, the last patch for the game. Amongst other things, Patch 2.8 makes many of the game's cosmetics more accessible, fully removing the shipments and hero challenge card systems from the game and instead putting their rewards in the marketplace. Whether you're a returning player or diving in for the first time, nearly all MCU and non-MCU inspired outfits, emotes, takedowns, and nameplates are now automatically available on your hero card. No more spending countless hours in repetitive gameplay just to get an outfit you like. It will be interesting to see if this latest patch, along with the shuttering of the game, is enough to boost numbers. We're about to have a packed season of games between Jedi Survivor, Redfall, Final Fantasy XVI, and Starfield alone. But if anything, hopefully Marvel's Avengers will serve as a cautionary tale of what happens when you fly too close to the multiplayer games-as-a-service sun. Official support for Marvel's Avengers will end on September 30th once the game is delisted. So be sure to give MCU Captain America a spin soon because he won't be able to do this all day much longer. And that's it for today. I'm Elspeth. You can find me at twitch.tv/Elspeth, where I do more voiceover and gaming junk on camera. Jesse should be back tomorrow, and it has been a blast giving all of you your 5-minute gaming news. I appreciate all of you very much. Take it easy, everybody.